Hello everyone, welcome back to Great Book Creations. My name is Michaela and today I'm going to be wood burning a cutting board as a gift for a wedding. So come along with me to see how it turns out. To start this project off, I pulled out one of the cutting boards that I have in my stock and I cut off the tag, and then I measured the cutting board to make sure it was the right size for the project I wanted to do. After measuring the board and creating a design, I went ahead and printed the design onto some normal paper so I could get it traced onto the cutting board. Here you can see the design with the people's name and a cute little heart and a cross, as well as the date that they are getting married. Now I'm just placing this design onto the cutting board with the normal paper to make sure I think it's the right size and I don't want to make it any bigger or smaller. I've decided it is the right size, so I'm going to tape the piece of paper onto the cutting board to hold it in place while I'm tracing. The next thing I'm going to do is take some of this carbon tracing paper and put it under the normal paper with the carbon side down so that when I draw over the design with my pencil, it pushes the carbon on the tracing paper onto the cutting board. I've found that sometimes when I have fonts that have a lot of straight edges, such as this font, it's a little bit easier to use a ruler to just make sure I'm getting extra straight lines so that when I'm wood burning, the lines turn out really clean and straight. Here you can see I actually forgot to add one of the lines on the H, so I'm going to get that added in right now. I always double check my designs while I'm tracing them after I do each little section to make sure that I got each detail of the design. Next, I'm going to trace over the last name for this piece, and then I'm going to get to work on the heart and the cross. For the last part of this design, I'm going to use the ruler again, since there are some straight lines on the date for this wedding. After I get this all traced out, I will go ahead and remove the carbon paper and remove the plain paper with the design on it, and then I'm ready to start wood burning. For the straight letters up at the top of this board, I'm going to use this spoon type burning tip that usually is the easiest for creating straight lines and filling in kind of that space in the middle of the letters, while also allowing me to create the sharp edges at the beginning and end of the letters. Next, I'm going to burn in the cursive last name on this board, and I am actually using the same tip to burn this section of the board as well. I actually prefer to wood burn cursive writing more than the straight writing that you see for the names up above. I just feel like it's more fluid and I just like how it turns out. I think it looks prettier, but I like to add the combo of the different types of letters to create some diversity on the design. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a new tip to wood burn the heart and the cross section. The tip I was previously using is pretty small, and since the cross and the heart have some big black space that I'm going to need to fill in, I want to choose one of these tips that allows me to fill in those big sections a little bit faster. As you can see here, I usually start by outlining the heart shape for a small distance, and then I will take the flat part of this tip and fill in or color in the middle section of the design. This big section of burning that I was doing had quite a lot of smoke coming off of it, so I wanted to give you guys kind of a slow-mo to see how that looks on my end, since most of the time I'm giving you videos that are pretty sped up to save you guys time from watching the whole process, which usually takes me about a day. This portion of the project was a little bit tedious just because I had to go through and fill in these big sections of the heart and the cross, but overall it was a fun project and it didn't take me too long to get done. Now I've switched back to the tip I was using before on the other lettering above the heart and the cross. The last portion of this project is just completing the date that this couple is getting married, which you can see below, and then I will be wrapped up with this one. Alright, here is the finished product on this one. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope the people that receive it for their wedding gift love it as much as I do. Thanks again for coming back and watching another one of my projects.